Yo, this is Ivan Blackstock from Birdgang Dance Company. Tune into Soundcheck.
What's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of Soundcheck, brought to you by Deja, sponsored by Ginge London. I'm your host for today, Mr. Baker.
I'm your guest host today, Jade Hackett.
And I'm Antoine.
And today we have the one and only Ivan Blackstock. Make some noise. Yeah. How you doing, Ivan?
I'm blessed, man.
How you doing? You good, yeah? Cool. We're gonna jump straight in. So, for people that don't know who you are and what you're about, just tell them a bit of background about yourself. So, what have you been up to? How did you start getting into this whole game?
I'll try to fit it all in.
Yeah.
So I started dancing for groups at age 8. Been on a kind of a very adventurous journey. So I've started with a woman called Shanique. She had a group called Shanique Cultural Dance. And that's when Chantel was dancing for her at the time, and they branched off and made C&C. So I was dancing with C&C for a while, then moved to GWI, Get With It, and obviously they've done Street Dance Weekend, XXL now. Leaving from that, going in dancing for Exposure, run by Paulie Skerritt. Left there, joined Boy Blue. Left there, joined Dance for Excess. And then I was at a point where I really wanted to push out my creative voice and started Birdgang with Simeon, Saye, and D7, who runs Rebirth. He decided to leave that and really focus on Rebirth, so it was mainly me and Simeon that was running the ship of Birdgang. And then later on, Kendra and Quayle came on board. And then I've been lucky enough to work with Zoo Nation, Avant-Garde, Flawless, Florography,
Everyone.
And
yeah, now it's 10 years with Birdgang. We started in 2005, and currently we're associate company at the Young Vic.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So tell us about Birdgang, where the name come from, and your first performance was at Breaking Convention.
Yeah. So the name Birdgang came from us just listening to Dipset, really. We were a big fan of Jewels and Cameron and the whole kind of movement. There's many weird names that we came up with before. Like Simeon came up with a name called Dirty South Dancers, and I was like, no, Simeon, we're not calling that. But we was one day just rolling with Simeon's cousin, and he was like, oh, Birdgang, oh, that's what your name should be. And we kind of stuck with that, and it kind of just represents family. And you know, birds that fly together, stay together, and all of that stuff. So we kind of based it off that, really. And then our first ever performance was at Breaking Convention in 2006, because our plan was to train and work hard for a solid year, not come out, and really just focus on that. And we kind of came out with masks and like trying not to show who was behind this kind of, you know, these figures. Part of it also that we saw in the scene that it was all about Shaniqua, get it Shaniqua, and all of this stuff, and we wanted it to be everyone on the same playing field, because there was a point where there's a lot of kind of dance celebrities, still is now, but we really wanted to just show you the art and concepts and how far you can push a concept also. So we just wanted everyone, all the dancers, to be on an equal playing field.
So can I just ask you on a side note about, is it A-hop? Am I saying that right? Wow. Okay, so it's more like a coughing thing.
It came from a guy called Ryan. He's an honorary Bird member, Simeon's cousin, who came up with who said we should call ourselves Birdgang. We called ourselves that because at the time we had to choose a class when it was a title for our class name, like Pineapple, and you had like new age hip hop, new style, all of these kind of names, street dance, fusion, and part of it was a joke, but also we've realized that what people are doing now, it's an evolution from hip hop. you know, but no one hasn't given that person respect. Or as you have Ties running the crump scene, or you had Don Campbell Lock, and all of those people given the chance to coin it. I don't think we're at a place where we haven't given anyone that respect yet to say this is the new style, you know. So that's what, again, a hee hop basically means. That's how you say it without the coffins, huh?
Okay.
Do whatever you want, you know. Be free. We have our roots in the hip hop culture and the hip hop movement and the way we apply our work, but we're open to do what we want. So when people say that's not hip hop, we say it's fine because it's a hee hop. We can do whatever we want. We coined it our own thing.
Okay, smart.
Sick. So obviously in terms of your battling history,
Yeah.
so you did used to battle and stuff.
Yeah.
What made you stop, in a sense?
A few things. Politics, as usually that's a thing. My ego. Also, I got to a point where I was somewhat established in the UK, and me being young, I didn't want my ego to be bruised, you know, or tarnished. So if I lost, then that's a part of me being like, nah, man, I can't. People see me die. I can't lose, you know. Financially, I decided to wanna put money into my account instead of winning £100 or £80 or some prizes, what they used to give at Throwdown, which was a great event also. But for me, I was seeing amazing dancers and battlers in their 30s or whatever, and it was hard for them to even jump on a bus, you know. So for me, I want to figure out how can I still keep my training up, because I still exchange, still do my thing, you know. But for me, it was a financial thing also that played a big part in it.
So when you're talking about financial, you mean like you want to go off and do bigger jobs and bigger gigs?
No, to be comfortable. I want to be able to jump on a train or jump on a
Yeah.
bus to rehearsal.
But that's what I mean.
So-
Like, so to do that, you went and you
Yeah,
did bigger,
and
like for example, you done the Pet Shop Boys
Yeah.
tour, isn't it? Like, was that one of your first?
Yeah, that was the first big job. I was doing jobs since I was 16. But that was the first job because I was even, to be honest, I didn't even really want to do the tour when I was first heard of it. I got accepted to the London Contemporary Dance School because I decided to leave Birdgang and get a different training and really focus on enhancing my kind of technical abilities within the kind of classic form. And I had to choose between, well, my friend D7 decided, he wants to go to this casting for Pet Shop Boys. You know, and he said, come down and support me. I was like, I'm really on that. I just want to better my training in that sense. I just want to dance. It's like, yeah. I was like, I know one song from the Pet Shop Boys. So I went anyway and went as more of a support. And then I booked the job. And then I had to choose between going on a world tour or studying. And I was like, I'm going on a world tour. You know? And for the whole commercial thing, I think most of my generation anyway, they wanted to dance for Usher and all of these kind of artists, Janet. So there's always a thing inside of me that wanted to do commercial work. I don't do things for money. You can look at my account now, it's not the greatest, even though I have achieved things that people can never fathom as a dancer or choreographer. But I still don't do it for the money.
So see, when you went to America, for example,
Yeah.
and Birdgang went to HHI, can you kind of tell us what your whole experience of HHI was? And because I see you smiling there, so I know you got some things to tell. So not only your experience of HHI, but what you would tell other up and coming groups that are planning to, you know, go over there and represent the UK.
For Birdgang, we realised that we're not that sort of company. I respect many companies that do go over and branch out because that's what we need to do. Put our feelers out there and make what you do known. It was a great experience because I got to see other companies and how they apply themselves artistically. So that was great because there's certain things that we lacked that I think we learned from going to that competition and knowing what sort of company we are.
What would you say that is?
Conceptual art. You know, I think we like to have narratives within our work, especially from most of our backgrounds, coming from a musical theatre background, Quelly coming and studying at RADA, and doing his whole acting thing, saying something with our work, you know, or reflecting the times. I feel that there's a lot of artists putting out work or concept videos and you're not reflecting the times. There's so much things I think that's happening around us, but we're on this kind of showcase thing, look at me, and there's no kind of depth to the work. Not to say you have to do something deep, but let's push, you know, let's push. We have history and lineage within theatre within the UK, and I think we need to tap into that, especially the hip hop artists also. So HHI made us realise that we're not that sort of company. A lot of it was about big virtuoso moves and wow factors, but we do our wow factors just a little bit differently.
Okay, so recently, it seems that you've been part of a charity movement organisation. Is it Poverty Kicks?
Poverty Kicks.
Tell us a bit about that and how that came
about.
So,
Poverty Kicks. Poverty Kicks started off with an idea that me and Sheila came out with, Sheila Atta, and we just wanted to give back. You know, I want to be able to look back in my career that I know that I helped out. You know, I think we have so much resources compared to third world countries. So it's going into our third year this year, and what you do is literally donate £3 for each class. We try to get really reputable choreographers and teachers, and great teachers as well, you know, that can inspire different age ranges, because we have from, if you see in the Poppy Kicks YouTube video, from 5 to like 60, 70, you know, and it's all for all levels, because it's not about who's the best. It's not about that. It's people coming together, having a common unity for a community to build, you know. So all the proceeds goes to a nominated charity. Right now we're working with Ghana, trying to do a 3-year scheme so we can show this structure works, and then we can put it in other places so they can have tangible things. So it costs a lot to ship out the sneakers and the trainers out to Africa and these places. So all the money goes to shipping, and then we send out the shoes to people that have none, you know, and orphanages and stuff like that. And just trying to push out something positive, you know. We all can do it. It's just do it.
That's dope, man.
All right, cool. So that being said, I want to play a little game.
Yeah.
Is that cool?
That's fine.
We're going to play a game called Callback.
Text. We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
Alright, cool. Alright, so callback. Basically, you have 3 missed calls. Yeah? I'm going to give you 3 names. You're going to either call one back, text one, and completely air the other one. Yeah? We're going to give you 3.
So, call
one back,
yeah,
text one, and then completely air.
Okay.
Like, completely air.
Yeah.
You're not even going to call them back tomorrow.
Like a disrespect level of it.
Oh, wow.
They knock on the door, they see you walk in the shadows and just like...
Interesting.
Like,
Okay.
bruh. Cool, so your 3 people are Simeon,
Yeah.
Quayle,
Yeah.
and Kendra.
Okay.
Oh.
That's easy.
He's about to get political.
Alright, cool. So you have to call one. You have to call one back. Who would you call back?
Simeon.
Why?
Bare love.
He's my brother. He's the one who's opened up my mind to and how I think now and how I apply myself.
Sick.
You know, he's just not just a friend and a person who I run my company with. He's more than that. Everyone's more than that, but we've had time before we even birthed Birdgang. So I've got a lot to owe to him.
Sick. Who would you text back?
Quayle.
Why would you text back, Quayle?
Again, like, he's another person who I call my brother. And we just on the same plane. We're just there, you know, and we always go back and forth on sharing ideas and things about life. And usually, if he's texting me or texting anyone, because he don't text no one, or get in contact with no one, it's gonna be of some relevance, or something important. So,
Like, wait, sort that out. I beg you, please, sort that out.
Which means that obviously
Kendra, man.
you'll completely air Kendra.
yeah.
Why would you?
I am.
Why would you air Kendra?
That's the only choice I have. Sorry, Kendra. Sorry, I love you.
Alright, cool. So obviously you've been around in the industry for a long time.
Yeah.
You've influenced a lot of people, but in your opinion, what up and coming dancers, choreographers at this moment do you feel like are doing their thing right now?
I think we've always had up and coming choreographers or people who'd never be seen. I think we get gassed from American artists and international artists, but we don't give love or respect to UK. UK's been putting in from the get-go. So even from how people are all on this musicality thing, we've been doing it from day. You know, you could see it in like old school footage that Debo used to film. You could see people was on musicality, but again, we kind of got attracted to the American way of moving. You know, even we do it in our culture anyway, because it's a hip hop thing. It's been birthed over here, from our speech to our way we dress. But I do think we are coming back to ourselves, which is good. I still think we've got a long way to go, as even the underground scene, when it comes to battling and all that stuff, it's still relatively new compared to somewhere like Paris. You know, but it's connecting to our roots, connecting with other people. You know, using our own music. That's what I think we need to start doing. There's many people who I think's incredible, from Ricardo Dominant to Frankie to Sonny, Glenn,
Which Glenn?
Dylan, Glenn Definitives. And some of those people smashing. You can't really, you know, Saskia that killed SDK the other day. There's so much dancers. I can't really just say there's one or two. Botis.
Because we're saying that obviously, like we did look on Facebook. Well, a lot of us did look on Facebook, and we saw a status from you saying obviously a lot of UK dancers need to start supporting each other a lot more and stuff like that. But obviously, we're here to kind of like see what that's all about. You know what I mean?
Well, I've been
what your point
in
is,
the
what your
game
view
for
is.
21 years.
Mad.
Are you playing? 21 years.
Since I started when I was 8
Just
years
give a
old.
round of applause for 21 years.
The time I was 8 years old, I've seen it all. Even when Jan used to dance back in the day.
Yes!
I've seen everyone, from Kenrick to everyone. And how I got to be lucky enough to do Pet Shop Boys World Tour, a West End show, putting on my own big production, working with artists from Dynamo to Rita Ora to whoever. Was having great people around me, mentors, teachers, and stuff like that. And again, back in my status, it goes, we're in this kind of narcissistic age where it's about selfies, doing me. I'ma do me, you know, I'm gonna do my own thing. And it's not about that, you know. It's about opening your hands, you know, because that's the only way. If we all come together, we all can eat, you know. And everyone always says, giving back. People need to open up, give back. Yes, but you need to do part of it yourself. You know, if there's without action, there's no reaction. So you have to apply yourself, do it. A lot of people who I speak to, they have amazing ideas in their head. I haven't seen it put down on paper. They even put it down on paper. You know, there's actions where you need to do to make that chain reaction, to build it and make it come to life. You know, but again, with my status, I mentioned that I'm free. I'm free for a coffee. I'm free to reply to your messages. I'm free for an exchange. My time is quite hectic at the moment, but I will make time. And that's what people need to do. You need to compromise certain stuff, and you will reap the rewards, you know, when your heart's in a different place, and getting getting rid of this ego thing. That's the whole reason why I was like, I'm not battling. I'm not doing certain shows. All of this stuff, that's an ego thing. once you get rid of that, you're going to transcend into something amazing, you know. So once people start to realize that, then the UK scene will grow and be where we need to be.
So you touched upon like your production,
Yeah.
for example, because I really want to know about this and because I know you've done hip hop theatre for a while, but like this one was like your own project, and you come into the hip hop theatre side from a different angle on the production side of things, not just as a dancer. So like, tell us like about that whole process and what it's like to really like put your own stuff on stage, and like, do you feel nervous the first opening night because you know it's your own stuff?
Just in general, for me, I've been focusing a lot on hip hop theatre because I have more range to be open, be me. For me, there's a lot of challenges doing commercial corporate stuff, which I think is great. You have 2 days or a day to make a show, a video. But usually you have producers and people in power that telling you, you can't do that, do this, speak like this, use a palm tree, a bottle of water, and use the dance around the artist. We are artists ourselves. So for me, that's one of the reasons why I went into hip hop theatre, because I have more range to explore different possibilities within my art and within my creativity. With A Harlem Dream, I was blessed enough to get that opportunity from working with Breaking Convention, building up through Sadler's Wells and building my contacts through there. So there's a woman called Emma Gladstone who used to work for Sadler's Wells, but now she works for a company called Dance Umbrella. And she was like, yeah, I want to program you and do this kind of interesting hip hop piece. And it's like, I'm going to give you free range. So with the messaging behind it, I wanted to do something because, again, I'm not really interested in recording my choreo that I've done in class, and that is what I'm pushing out as an artist. I want to push out something else and push out something more. So there's many layers within the A Harlem Dream kind of script. So there's two kind of characters, two protagonists called Mo and Sal. Mo is autistic, but he's also a musical savant, so he's this musical genius. But he can't really understand the world. So he has this other person called Sal, Sal is very logistical, very business savvy, and know how to get things. Mo represents the right side of the brain. So with our right side of the brain, it's our creative side. It's the thing that we can tap into, our inner child, pretty much. And then the left side is kind of the logical side and the mathematician, the scientific side of stuff. So we kind of used the Amadeus screenplay, which is based on Mozart's life. So Mo, we called him Little Mo, Maurice. It's Mozart, that's Mozart. And then we have Sal, who was Salieri, and Salieri kind of despised Mozart because he had this raw material that he couldn't understand. How come he has this raw talent? But in the screenplay also that Salieri respected this guy, you know, and he's got this thing that I need, but I'm going to find a way to work with it. So that's what we implemented in the story. And then also Mozart had a muse, and the muse was basically this musical instrument, which was a double bass. And the bass kind of represented in a jazz band, because it's set in the Harlem Renaissance time. The root, the structure, the double bass is the root and structure for the whole band. So this double bass was his root, his structure, and we personified that into a woman. Because without your woman, you're nothing. So we had like, and it also had obviously the shape of the double bass and stuff like that. So I've done a few extracts and a few showings. I've done a little thing at World of Dance, which wasn't the greatest. And at Best of British, when I kind of just showed of the possibilities of what I wanted the show to be. It didn't look nothing like that, because that was before the production put up. But you might see me with a bow in my hand. And it's just trying to find this divine connection between man and woman, man and music. And So also, just to top it all off, it was about black creativity and black ownership and us owning what we created. So we've created rock music, jazz music, hip hop, all of these kind of musical styles and cultures, but we don't own any of it. You know, there's a guy that's running things. You know, so we try to show that how much are you willing to sacrifice. Again, in the story, there was another layer to it. Is Faustus, based on that the play, and it was Dr. Faustus who was a devil, and what's it? There's a person in the story that sold his soul to the devil. So yeah, there's many layers within the story. We tried to use put it in a surreal kind of context. So it was this kind of Harlem Renaissance and hip hop mashup within this surreal world. So there's certain things that wouldn't naturally happen, but it gave us scope to do it, and that's why I like to do things that are quite metaphysical and esoterical, so we can go to different places and go to different planes. If it's too rigid, then there's only so much you can go with what you put into that content.
That's some deep stuff, boy. That's some deep stuff.
Yes.
But I got it.
Yeah.
So you've been in the game for 21 years. You've done a lot of performances, shows. You're a legend, a veteron. You got on Smash, yeah. But I'm curious. Would you ever do like a TV reality show, like, you know, got to dance anything and put your work out there, or is that not really you?
There's many times I've thought about it.
Okay.
I think.
Which ones have you thought about? Sorry.
And
all
why,
of them.
Okay.
Okay.
But again, for me, I'm not interested in. This is me personally. I'm not speaking for anyone in Birdgang or any other companies or dancers. For me, that's not what I'm about. I would prefer to be the producer, the scriptwriter, the manager. We need to be in a position of power. Once we're in that position of power, not to have the ego thing attached to it, but open to help out other people, that's when you have better dance shows, because we have people running those kind of competitions and TV reality shows that don't understand the culture, don't understand it. So once we be in that position of power, to help people, and position of inspiration. You know, I come from South London. I used to live in Peckham and Brixton. I failed all my GCSEs. I have no school grades. You know, found out later in my life I'm slightly autistic. All of these things, but I know that I'm in a position of power and position of inspiration from me being open to people, me working hard. You know, so with these reality TV shows, we're always going to keep on complaining because we're making people run the thing that they don't understand it. So again, we're going to complain, oh, look at Step Up 7 or Step Up 9 or whatever, and it's still lame. But we need to make films. We need to write those movies, you know? So for me, I like being a little bit more behind the scenes, because I want to start influencing people that you can do other stuff. You can branch out past this dancer and look at me sort of thing. And that's what we need to do, especially a lot of the older cats. They'll just stop, you know, I'm done. But I believe there's so much that they can still give
Even without
Sick. So obviously you've done Harlem Dream. You've worked with a lot of people. You're working with Poverty Kicks and stuff like that. Is there anyone else in the UK dance scene that you'd like to work with, that your eyes on, that you're just like, yeah, like this person or these people I could really put my work into?
Well, there's a few people I've spoken to already with, from like Wet Wipes to Far From the Norm. I know I like rawness, and I believe those companies are doing something that's slightly different from the norm. They still have their own voice. But to be honest, I'm open to collaborate with most people. You know, if we can vibe, you know, and have find a common language, I'm down.
So this kind of ties in with that question. I know you're saying like you've clocked certain groups that, you know, are coming with their own vibe and own signature, but there are many, if you don't mind me saying, that are coming with, you know, a very generic sort of style. Do you know what I mean? So my thing is, if there was ever like a group that for one day you could just take over and choreograph and literally give that group a facelift, what would you do? Like put your Ivan stamp on them and see, and would you be interested to see whether they can handle your concepts and your deep thought process about movement?
Yeah.
It's a hard question.
Yeah, it is. Again, going back to rawness, for me, it will either be definitives or wet wipes. I think they still have a long way to go in a sense of putting maybe something on the stage in a theatrical context. I think I can help with that. But what they're doing, they're running things in what they do. You know, like I was in San Francisco. One guy came up to me, do you know Definitives? Do you know Glenn Hudson? I was like, yeah, that's my boy. You know, that's dope to hear. You know, same as for like Shush, Ricardo, all of them guys, they're just nasty. You know, but I believe that they can give me something. You know, because I'm not choreographing like that. You know, I'm not crumping or have certain movements like how wet wipes guys are doing. But I believe we can definitely share a few things from our individual journeys.
So you hear that, guys? I think that's a future collaboration that can come. You see what I did there? Set that up for everyone. So when that does happen, Jade, that was Jade. There.
All right, so Ivan, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure having you here, and just saying what you got to say, man. If anyone can find you anywhere, where could they find you, man? Twitter, Instagram.
Birdgang Dance, Facebook, website birdgangdance.com. I have my own artist page as well, Ivan Blackstock. It's pretty easy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Twitter, Instagram, Ivan Blackstock. Twitter, Instagram, Ivan Blackstock. Everything's Ivan Blackstock. Birdgang Dance.
All right, guys. So make some noise for
Nice one.
Ivan.
Yeah.